who are unfamiliar with who Dr. Eddie is, introduce yourself to just those who are chiming in, and we'll just kind of flow. It's not our goal to, be, we want to just have organic conversation and let it flow and give other people an opportunity to ask questions as well and just be a part of the conversation. Welcome to Relationship Real Talk Sunday Chat.
Awesome. Glad to be with you, amazing queens, and Dr. Eddie Connor, son of the city of Detroit. Hometown is Motown by way of Jamaica. We got that Caribbean connection.
Hey.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Do a lot of work, with whether it's mentorship, whether it's ministry, whether it's motivation, empowering people to overcome obstacles. 2023 marks 23 years of me being cancer free. And so I'm celebrating that with my 16th book this year.
Nice.
And conference upcoming, Access Identity Conference. So glad to be a part of the conversation tonight.
Awesome. So you want to get Dr. Eddie caught up to speed, Brandy, because we were talking about dating. Now,
Dr. Eddie, are you familiar with the app Clubhouse?
I am. A time or two I've been on there.
Okay. So tend to have these relationship conversations still, right? And I think what I'm running into is, and I cannot wait for us to have this discussion, especially on the panel, about being traditional, but dating in this modern world, I guess, if you will. Things that I'm not used to men not, being chivalrous, and, what happened to flowers and chocolates? Like, women still like that stuff, but it's like this, what's these words that they use now? You're a simp, or you're a panderer if you do those things. And it's like words that I never heard before Clubhouse, first of all. Let me get that clear. But just, I feel like a lot of just traditional dating practices have gone out the window. Is it because we have instant, kind of gratification now with social media? Is the chase and the wait now? Is that, not as, it doesn't take as long to court anymore? I don't know. Got any answers for us?
It's a very pertinent question. And, a lot of people saying the dating pool has pee in it.
Oh my God.
It's rather toxic, and it needs some bleach.
Oh.
But chlorine maybe. But I think what's not modeled will always make you misaligned. We really are stringent on this new generation of men, of dating, of women, whatever the case may be. But if it has not been modeled by the predecessors, by our previous generation, how can we really walk into that flow? And I know we say, well, you've grown and this, that, and the other. Dr. Sigmund Freud said we are in adulthood where we have experience in childhood. So in many cases, we're just a grown physical representation of childlike behavior, or that behavior which has not been taught. And so in many cases, we have to reparent ourselves. We have to expose ourselves to the right types of chivalry, or the right types of ways to be romantic, to be a gentleman, to be, a gentle woman, so to speak. So that now we don't continue to repeat, but repair. So in many cases, we have to reparent ourselves. And so, I think we'll continue to see what we've been seeing unless we do something different. And then we don't demonize and stigmatize good behavior and call it simping, or being a pick-me.
That's another word. That's another Clubhouse word.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure. So I think it's all in what we have to realign to relearn now. I think
that's really good.
That's what it goes with. Yeah.
That's really good. Well, we're on Clubhouse, so we hear a lot of different things all the time, and a lot of conversations are happening. What do you think, as women, us being single, what is it that you hear a lot of the men that are saying that we as women need to kind of work on that's preventing us from really getting into relationships?
Mm. Yeah, that's a good boy. That's an open-ended question right there. Uh, I
Because,
think
a lot of men are
yeah.
saying that y'all are alpha females and you think you got it, all of these things in the third. So we want to know what is it that we're not doing right? What is it that we can improve on? Let's not say what we're not doing right, because I never want to tell someone they're not doing something right. But what are the areas that men are saying, this is what I'm coming in contact with oftentimes as women, that if y'all can improve this, your chances of maybe meeting somebody would improve.
I was talking to a homeboy yesterday, and he was telling me about his dating woes and issues, and his main gripe was the aspect of the lady who he's dating, her attitude. To a certain
Mm.
degree, her attitude was not a fragrance; it was rather an odor. And
Oh,
I think, attitude determines your altitude. It determines how high or low you go in a relationship.
absolutely.
Relationships like boarding an airplane. Too much baggage is going to cost
Mm-hmm.
you. And so her attitude towards him was based upon what she had not healed from in the past. He was trying to treat her good, but she, in many cases, was mistreating him because she was used to toxicity in a relationship. And so because she was so used to that, in many cases, hurting people hurt people, heal
Yes.
people heal people. Until you heal, you're going to bleed on people who didn't cut you.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
one of the main gripes I'm hearing is attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I can be honest with you guys, because I'm telling myself first, I remember meeting this gentleman, and because my last season, like, someone don't answer their phone, or, something happens, you're automatically thinking the worst. So I called, we were exchanging a text message, and he stopped responding. And I thought he stopped responding because of something that I said. I went into a whole tangent, called him from another
Oh, wow.
phone. I'm telling on myself, y'all, because we're in a season where we're just telling all. And
Serious
I
about
called
this
him.
one.
Right. Just in case they watch. I went and called from another phone because I thought that he was doing something that was done to me before. And I wasn't sure of that. Brandy got disconnected. I wasn't sure of that. So because I wasn't sure of that, I responded. And the thing is women, sometimes we are not aware of what we're doing. Let me bring her back. Sometimes we're not aware of what we're doing, Dr. Eddie. Like, I wasn't sure if he was sincere or not. So, of course, I was using my past experience that I couldn't help it but saying, well, this looked familiar. So I responded based on familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong. I was so.
What was his response when you blew up his line like that?
Well, I just called from I didn't blow his phone number. I just called from another number because I was like, he doesn't know this number. So if he's not asleep, he's going to answer it because, that trick works every single time. If you don't answer my number, then you're going to answer somebody else's. And
Wow.
he was like, wow, Simone, you did the most. I was like, sorry.
Not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Right. I was like, I was wrong. Because the truth of the matter is, I just found it hard to believe that he fell asleep so quick. So I was just like,
can't fall asleep.
It was quick. It was really quick.
Maybe God put the brother to sleep like Adam. I don't know. He just.
And then he was like, what had happened was he had just lost a family member, and he was like, I was drinking and I drank a little bit too much and I passed out. And I was like, sorry. So that created a certain tone earlier on because he was like, you're unhealed. And I was like, I'm not. I just look.
You got triggered. Triggered.
Got triggered.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it just felt like something that I had experienced before. And I didn't know him well enough to know his patterns to say no or yes. He didn't look at it. He didn't look at it like that, nor did he understand. So I'm just saying, I'm telling on myself. Maybe I'm helping somebody.
But you know,
I'm sure somebody watching has been in the same boat.
Right.
yeah, but you know what's funny? I think with you talking about healing, I think sometimes it's easy to say I've healed until you get in a situation that tests that healing.
Right.
You
Hmm.
think you got it all figured out, and it's not until you're actually in it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I can tell, oh, yes, I'm healed from,
Hmm.
my divorce. I'm great. Well, it's because I ain't in a relationship for nobody
Right.
to test it. So,
Mm.
you know what I mean? So I think sometimes we have to really look at it, and then it's really the reaction that you have when you're in it. You
Yes.
know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's yeah.
I can't believe I just
Yeah.
told that story.
No,
Yeah.
this is a safe space. It's all right.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It's a
Say.
safe space.
Well, no,
Ain't no
I
judgment.
should
I
no
have a law
judgment.
degree, so I
No.
don't judge.
Right. 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 And the reason why I said that, Dr. Eddie and Brandy, was because, like you said, you don't know. I've been a single woman doing my thing. I was like, it was when women are not aware, Dr. Eddie, if this is something sincere or not, we kind of tread lightly. Safe zone, exactly. So it's like you're safe until you're like, okay, he's sincere. I didn't know. Make sure I don't miss those business calls. Stop it. I wanted to just make sure, like, it wasn't that I'm unhealed. It just seemed familiar, and I wasn't sure, and I wanted to just make sure that it was, yeah. Uh, just
You said my name is not Casper. You ain't finna ghost me.
right,
You know
right.
what? Speaking of ghosting, I think we might need to have a conversation about that, y'all. I'm a ghoster. I am
Really?
Ooh,
I'm bad. I
ooh, do
am
tell, do tell.
horrible. But see, that's what I like about that's what I like about being a host. It's not gonna be about me. It's gonna be about
No,
everybody else.
we all.
You said the host went ghost.
Yes, that's it for Brandy. That is it. That is it.
My best
Um,
friend she's on the chat and she gets on me all the time. She's like, Brandy, just be honest and have the conversation. And I'm like, it's just kind of I don't like confrontation. So I don't want to be triggered. So I ghost. There you go. That's what it is.
see, I'm telling you, Dr. Eddie,
Y'all ladies,
Straight and to the point.
look, y'all just
It ain't as
Dr.
simple
Eddie
as that.
said,
we all got some areas we're still working through.
yeah.
Absolutely.
We got the Ghostbuster on the line tonight.
That's right.
Hey, at least I admit it. Isn't that the first step?
That's the first step.
That's the first
That's
step.
why I told on myself, because it's the first step. We're trying to make changes in 2023. That's the goal. Yes. Okay. So,
Yeah.
so Dr. Eddie, what is it that you heard our stories?
Yes,
What are
Dr. Eddie.
Oh, don't! Oh, here
Yeah.
y'all go. No.
we want
Don't put me in
for
this
the
one.
men? What is it that y'all are going through? What is it that you're facing? What is it that women are? Because we're saying that there aren't ready men. Is that true or is that not true?
There aren't. Say that again.
There aren't enough ready men.
Ready to jump the broom?
Well, Dr. Eddie, don't do it. Don't
Come on, I need a few brothers to help me
right.
out tonight. They got me cornered. I'm outnumbered tonight.
I'm saying.
My goodness.
But the thing is, men think that we're projecting marriage, especially when you think of their future husband, wife. You'll see a lot more women show up. You'll see a lot more women be a part of the conversation, ready to do the work, ready to heal. But the men are feeling like we're trying to, push marriage on them. We're trying to project marriage on them, ready to step up and lead. Right. We're the men that are ready to say, okay, because we're seeing single men saying, I can't find any woman. But then there's a lot of single women that's like, what do you mean? We're over here. What's going on? Why is it that you're not seeing us?
I think both of us are in a space and a place, and I'm writing about this in my new book. If I can do it, just a quick shameless plug. Who Can Find a Faithful Man? It comes out June the 15th. It's on pre-order right now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible. I think we're in a situation of who can find. Both generations, we've always heard Proverbs 31, who can find a virtuous woman, her price far above rubies. but we fail to hear Proverbs chapter 20, verse 6. Who can
Mm,
find a faithful man?
mm,
So in
Mm.
many cases,
Who can find
brothers
a what?
want
What'd you
sisters, faithful
say?
man. So Proverbs 20, verse 6. How many times have you heard that preached?
Proverbs 20, verse.
Brandy's like, we're gonna write this down.
S-I.
Right.
Not just
Yes.
the number.
Yeah.
We spell it out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. Thank
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Brothers want sisters to be virtuous, and sisters want brothers to be faithful.
Yes.
But both
Mm.
sexes are asking who can find.
That's really
Yeah.
good.
And so I think
you.
both
Noted.
generations, to a certain degree, both genders are in a dilemma to where we're asking that. And for us as men, when you broach the question of who can find a faithful man, here's the question for us as men before we're ever faithful in a relationship. Are we faithful to God? Are we faithful in our character? Are we faithful
Right.
as a father? Are you faithful as a mentor? Are you faithful in how you treat other people? Are you faithful in just how you live your life with consistency and frequency and self-confidence, but also discipline? Unless he can lead himself, there's no way that a man can lead you.
That's correct.
Right. So, and I think it comes as well from a place of a lot of men are complaining and saying, well, I don't know if I'm going to be bashed for being vulnerable. But are you even
That's
vulnerable in your relationships with your parents? Are you vulnerable in your relationship with your brother or your sister, or even just your comrades, where you can talk amongst your own brothers? You know, are you vulnerable enough to take off the mask internally and recognize, listen, you can't go through life trying to be a Superman when you're really Clark Kent. You know, until we take off the cape is always going to be a chokehold. Until we take off the mask, we're always going to suffocate in our past.
That's true.
I like to say we're more like T'Challa than Black Panther. We're more like David Banner than the Hulk.
Oh.
We're more like as I said, Superman versus. We're more like Clark Kent versus Superman. And beyond this caricature, until we really develop our character, who we are will always be revealed from a place that's deleterious when we get into a relationship with someone. Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good, Dr. Eddie. I like that. You know, one of the things. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to ask, Dr. Eddie, do you think that part of it is also that, and I am really being completely honest when I say this, I think we have such a great pool of Black men right now, but I think y'all know it. And so now y'all realize this level of, you know what, I got options. And even though this one may be a good option, do I settle down with this one, or do I keep my options open? Like, I think right now we are on the brink of seeing some really amazing men, and I see it all the time. But I also think that because it's being recognized and it's being owned by men, that it's kind of like, you know what, I don't have to settle down. I don't have to choose one, because I really do have a lot of other options. Do you think that plays into it at all as to why a lot of Black men aren't getting married as like they have in the past?
Since you're my panelist, I'm gonna facetiously push back on you and ask you, are you trying to say we the prize?
I am saying you know what? I'm giving you your flowers. Yes, I am. You are the prize king. Yes, you are. But you know it. It's before you used to just let me tell you. Now you know it and you're feeling yourself. And I'm like, bring it back.
Maybe men are awakening to the fact of who it is that they are, especially if they're doing the work. My homeboy told me, he's in Atlanta. He said, man, it's 13-1. Meaning ratio. And it's probably more than that.
More than that.
So why settle down if you have 13-1? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Well, I think that's what he was conveying.
That's what
I live in Detroit. I don't live in Atlanta. But I think it's coming from the fact it's the psychology of selection. And the psychology of selection says, if I have so many choices. How do I choose?
That's correct.
And in many cases,
60 to
you
1.
don't.
I'm with you. I'm Jay Gold.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm with you.
Oh,
It's
60 to 1. Good
Yeah,
grief.
I agree.
Yeah.
Sis, I'm with you.
So if you, psychology selection, if I have too many options, how do I choose? And in many cases, you don't choose. You choose who chooses you.
Yes.
And in many cases, that's the wrong choice for you. Yeah. Because you have not prioritized, to a certain degree, putting the blinders on. You have not prioritized self-discipline in that aspect. You've left yourself open and so wide rather than narrowing yourself as well as your options. You know,
Right.
I don't know if you ever been at a restaurant and you like, man, I'm glad they got all these selections at Ruth's Chris, or I'm glad they got all these selections at I don't know, whatever restaurant you go to, right? And the book is so big, you just flipping. You say, man, I wish I just had a one sheet menu.
Right.
Because
Make
I
it
can narrow
simple.
my selections down, but I got so many choices. And
Right.
I think to a certain degree, it is supply and demand. The more that the greater the value of the product or the person, the demand goes up, right? And the demand goes up because there's, to a certain degree, is little supply of you.
That's correct.
Right? You're not a 7-Eleven. You a Ruth's Chris.
Ooh.
You're not a thrift store. You a Saks Fifth Avenue because you need a personal shopper.
Come on now.
Right? So you got people trying to bang your door down. Hey, open up. Let me in. Because now you've got so many choices. So I think to a certain degree, if you don't know what you want, somebody's going to decide what you get.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I am Jay Gosa. So my question is, if that's true, then why are so many good women who are healed, the complete package, wife material, how come they are recognized as readily chosen or not recognized? I think she probably said not recognized as readily chosen.
That's my best friend, by the way.
Oh, is it? Okay.
That's my best friend.
Okay. You know why?
Yes.
You know what I
we
think,
have
Jade?
that conversation a lot.
You know why I think, Jade? I think because sometimes when a woman is ready, it puts pressure on men who have so many options. So it's like you're ready, but it's like, oh, no. There's options out here. So I don't want the ready woman because there are options. And I kind of want to play a bit and have fun with this because there's always someone who is willing to accept him not committing, because we live in such a day and age where there's so many options that there are so many women getting to the point of, well, something's better than nothing. So they're willing to just be like, okay, I see him on weekends, or if he says he's busy, he's busy.
Right.
So I think that's why a lot of ready women, now men will say otherwise. I thought I was ready and someone burst my bubble. So I don't know. I want to hear from the men as to when they hear us, when they hear our conversations, are they hearing ready like we're thinking we're ready? Because somebody told me I was ready and I was like, what do you mean? Ready.
Or I think, okay, so Tony said my trust issues are activated upon the initial when great treatment occurs. I can't stand it about me. Is that it? Y'all don't know how to be treated by a woman? So when you get it, you don't know how to act?
Right. What you saying, Tony? I don't know. Help us out.
It sounds like he's saying that to him, and I've heard him say this before, that when a woman is initially nice or treats him well, it's almost a red flag to him. Like, is it a reason why? Is it going to last? Is it true? Is this representative, like people like to say? Or when is the shoe going to drop? I don't know.
To a certain
That's what
degree,
it is.
Yeah, it could be paralysis by analysis too.
Make notes of that. That's good.
Because a lot of times people will show you their representative until they shed their skin.
But what if you're not? What if? Well, here. Okay, so here, y'all, I'm really telling my business. Someone told me that, and I was like, I don't agree. he's like, no one wants your representative, Simone. And I'm like, there's no representative.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
mean,
think that's,
me.
yeah, that's where trust is built. You know, I think you have to see it, or you will recognize a tree by the fruit it bears. And
Yeah.
fruit takes time to
Ooh,
be birthed.
You know what? I think that's a good point. So if you're just looking at the superficial, it's going to be easy to be blinded by that. But if you take that time to see, okay, what have they produced? What have they put out there? How are their children? If they are on the phone and they're in the background, are they respectful to, I listen for that. When I'm talking to somebody, I listen at what's going on in the background. I listen and
Yeah.
I take heed to that because I think that's very
yes.
important. Those are the things to me, like you said, the fruit that it bears. I think you're right. I think that really comes, that it really eventually comes out. And that's why, segue, I don't believe in multi-dating because I think in multi-dating, you can easily get blinded by not seeing in one person what that true representative is, because now you have these other comparisons. I think, listen, it takes me 2 weeks to figure out if a guy is going to be right, period. 2 weeks. Because that's
2 weeks.
You got that laser focus. You got my laser focus. I am figuring you out. I know who you are. I get to talk to you. I learn quickly your patterns. All I need is 2 weekends to know what your weekend's like. If you got somebody over, if you don't, if you got a weekend chick, if you got a weekday chick, I can find that out. That is very easy to do.
True.
I can't do that if I'm talking to one on Monday, Tuesday, and I'm talking to another one on Thursday, Friday. I can't discern that. So no, you're gonna get all my attention, but just know what I'm checking for. Look, this 21 years of military self-training not going to waste. I'm using it in all aspects, okay?
That part.
Ooh, salute, Sister Soul. You say you're gonna get my attention with intention.
Come on. Right? Dr. Eddie, if you don't quit dropping these one-liners, let me tell you.
You the one setting me up. It's NBA playoffs tonight. You throwing the alley-oop. I got a dunk. You bringing the Miami Heat.
What about Wednesday at 7 p.m.? I'm done. Tony, I'm done. I cannot.
Tony, is that a date or you just throwing something out? Don't play.
I'm done.
Wow. I feel a DM coming.
Not from Tony. Come on, see? Exactly. We already know what we're dealing with.
Right. Not from Tony. But that's really good. I'm with you, Brandy. I'm not a multi-dater either. And people are like, no, you got to. I'm just like, no, I'd like to. I think right away I can know. And like you said, I pay attention to your patterns, what you do, how you do it. 2 weeks is a good enough time. How are you in your text style? What's your text style? Do you prefer to text more than you like to call? And it's funny because people are like, you love to text. And I'm like, I really don't. But I just end up texting because I think we conform to busy people. So they're always texting. So you're like, okay, it's a form of communication. I think any check-in is better than no checking in. So if I understand that you have a busy lifestyle and you can text, we're still communicating. Now, if we don't talk at all, that's problematic. But I do think that there needs to be some point of conversation. Brandy's part bloodhound.
Just a little more cougar, but however.
Wow.
I'm done. Oh my God.
All right.
So
he said how you live, how you communicate, how you keep your home, how attentive a man is taking.
Why is Brandy's connection terrible?
Because everybody's trying to call me. They don't want me to
because
be
she be in the FBI. That's why.
Oh.
Everybody trying to call me while I'm on live. Let me put it on Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
Hey, they trying to check her pattern now.
Right?
Let me see if you busy.
Okay, I'm back.
What you doing? You're not available at 7:30 your time. Why are you not available?
Right. Right. Lord. I'm trying to, let's see, one of our other panelists, that was him calling. He was like, is that you? I'm like, yes. Get on here.
He said, is that you? Yes. Calling Brandy right now to see if she answers. Tony is such a mess. Oh my gosh, I cannot. But to say that you can find a whole lot real quickly, you really can. I don't think you need to be dating three, that's too I don't got time. I don't got time to be like, and you get so confused with like this person and that person, and my heart is like, I'm sold out for one person. I'll be just like, let me just put my time here, and if it doesn't work out, we'll move on to the next thing. But we ain't got time to be multi-dating and no, it's too much for me. And you always end up liking one particular person anyway, so I just feel like, what are we doing? You already know who your heart's going to kind of lead to. So, you might have a backup just for, conversation purpose, but your heart really leads to one person where you like to talk to him more.
That's right.
That's what.
So let me just give you your time. If it works, you got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to prove it.
After the clock is starting off the first text, the first phone call. You saved the date on your calendar.
Yep.
Listen, yes.
Bi-weekly report cards.
Yes.
Coming in.
That's it.
Placeholder is a no. Yeah, I agree with you.
Don't y'all think, I think people have placeholders. I really do. And, I will say, it's funny that I am co-hosting with a doctor, because I like to think of the fact that, when I was in PA school, a lot of the doctors, you see a lot of white doctors, and I hate to make this about color, but I'm going to bring it up because I think it's important to say that a lot of the white doctors would already be married, their wives bringing them lunch or whatever. Black doctors, not so many. Once again, I think it's just that pool of them, and I don't know, you said you went through law school. Was it because you, did you not get married because you were just so laser focused, or do you think that was something that you needed to, that it wasn't important? Do you think it would have threw you off your game? Is there a reason why? Because I'm sure you probably had counterparts who got married while they were in school, right?
Yeah, I didn't do law school. I was saying I don't have a law degree, so I don't judge.
But you did say that. Okay, I'm sorry.
I went to college for my master's, bachelor's, PhD, but it was all in philosophy. It was all in education, English from that perspective. But seeing my other counterparts, a lot of them weren't always necessarily getting married, and to a certain degree, some of them who were in my master's or my PhD program were, older, had either already been married or were divorced. So I say for me, it was a place of being laser focused. It was a place of having to juggle so much, teaching school during the day, going to class at night, or then after graduating, still teaching school during the day, and then now teaching classes at night, writing books, traveling around, mentoring after school, the next generation of young males. So I think career did become what I courted. Yeah. I was courting my career. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that there is no romance without finance is a nuisance.
All right.
Okay.
I understand.
I did not throw you that one, but I will definitely receive it. Thank you, Jesus.
Come on now, especially in the confines of a marriage. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. What are the top things that marriages go awry and askew for? It is communication, it is sex, but it is also money.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is. I learned that very early. Those are the top 3 things I was told. But to that end, I think that men also know that. How does a lot of I'm sure people in the chat have as their fallen savior who used to say that your market value goes up while ours goes down in age. So you didn't have to have a rush to get, seriously, there was no rush for you to get married, because you still knew that you working on your purpose and doing what you were doing, you still had value.
That's true. That's true. But there's a lot of pressure even still on men too. I mean, one of the biggest questions I'm always asked is, when am I getting married? And people ask me,
When are you getting married, Dr.
well,
Eddie?
I'm gonna answer the question in Houston.
Hey, I love it.
I'm gonna answer the question, dear future husband, wife conference.
We need to put the link up. We need to put the link up for tickets.
Oh,
Yeah.
we should. You don't have it, Brandy?
I can, but you know the way my phone been going. Do you have it readily available? Because we need to pin it at the bottom. But yes, that would be
Houston,
a very
we have
good
liftoff. Y'all gotta come. Y'all gotta come. Y'all gotta be in
That's
Houston.
right.
It's worth taking the trip. It's worth booking your flight. It's worth booking your hotel. It's worth telling your crew and your family, and you're bringing your bae and your boo and your house and your spouse, bringing your husband and your wife, bringing everybody. Y'all need to make sure y'all there. We got these amazing, incredible queens who are gonna be there as well. They're gonna put up with me, and I'm gonna put up with them.
Oh,
We're gonna have some real good conversation.
not put up with us. Oh, no.
But here's the thing: not only are women often ask that question around the Thanksgiving table and during the holidays, when you're bringing me a grandchild, when you get married, whatever the case may be, men are asked that too. And for me, I get that. People ask me as if I'm, unemployed looking for a job, as when I'm gonna get married. So I will say, I did sacrifice relationships at the extent of prioritizing my career. I did sacrifice social life at the extent of that. I have been so much of a workaholic that I have been out of balance. So, since this is a safe space and place to be able to talk and just be 100, for sure. I see, many of my colleagues and my friends, it's like what Kanye said. My best friend talked about his children, and they got their report cards, and I'm over here looking for a sports car. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, is one better than the other?
I can't say that because I don't even know what the other side is. I only know what it's like dealing with older young people because I mentor them. I don't know what it's like to be a father. I say I'm not a father, but I'm a father figure.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to be a husband. I do have brothers who are husbands who've been married 40 plus years, who give me great insight, and I aspire to be where they are. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, is it wrong for me to ask, or just to say, someone like you with having a purpose like that and having such a clear vision, and so again, I do run into men who would say, who would be in positions like yourself, and I would look at that and be like, wow, is that somebody that you would even want to apply a little bit of pressure on, because you're such in a place of giving, right? And I'm selfish. So I just say, for me, I'd be like, hey, I don't know if this would even be a good relationship, because there's some people out here who I think have such a great vision and purpose, and going into a relationship or a marriage can derail that. And I think you can also love someone enough to say, what I want and what you want doesn't align. However, I still love you. And then, if that's something that, I don't know, have you run into that as well? Or is that where you think you may be? Because I think that's important. I would look at something like that and be like, ooh, I don't know, because, Brandy gonna derail all of that. You know what I mean? Or do you say initially, right? Because you do want somebody to give you that time, but then, or do you grow into that and say, okay, this is the type of person who truly understands my purpose and my vision and gives me that time. They don't press me. They don't hammer call me and call from other numbers to see if I'm actually working on my book.
Oh, wow.
Calling from the Cricket wireless line.
Wow.
Or do you just be there for that person? You know what I'm saying? Like, or do you really believe that person? And is that person out there? I don't know.
Here's the thing.
I need Brandy's phone to act right, because your phone has been giving a lot of trouble.
Right.
Is it messing? Is it not
wasn't
doing?
messing. When
Hold
you
up.
look at the replay, all you're gonna see is your messy phone. My God,
Hold on.
look at this. It's acting up again. Look at it.
Hold on. It always goes out when I get to the good stuff too. So hold on.
See when she see the thing is the phone act up when she ain't acting right.
Oh,
That's what it is. The
that's
phone
what it
telling on
is.
her. That's
Oh,
what it is.
Brandy. Dr. Eddie's on to you. That's what it is. So you got to act right. Drink your act right.
It works
juice.
right for the Caribbean people. It works right for.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Brandy. It's you.
It's working right for us.
I'm saying, Brandy.
Yeah.
I know you don't have a whole lot of time. This conversation has been phenomenal, Dr. Eddie, and I know you got to go soon. I wish you could stay longer. I told you this is how the conversation gets good. And then it's like, dang it, we can only be here for so long. What did you want to say to those who are waiting? I know you ain't got much time. Y'all, Dr. Eddie's got to go, but this conversation has phenomenal.
I'll extend it a little bit more.
Okay, all right. So, Brandy, please act right. Please. Y'all leave my girl alone.
I'm trying, y'all.
Okay. We trying.
Okay.
Where were you at, Brandy? Lord,
I don't even know. I think that was just the Lord telling me to just, I'm going to use my discernment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was just the Lord saying,
derail that conversation.
Derail the whole conversation. Listen, we want to give y'all an opportunity. If you're in the chat, oh God, my puppy. If y'all are in the chat, do y'all got any questions? Who's in Houston? Let me know if you're in Houston. Shout out to Houston in the building. But ladies, what are your concerns? We got a male. What are your concerns? What are some of the things that you're experiencing in your dating world? Because me and Brandy, we over here, we going through it. We going through it. What are your thoughts, Dr. Eddie, on online dating?
I think it's maybe we need to be asking even not just online dating, who's going to be dating robots? I mean, AI is taking over, but online dating, I think is it's the way of the world. What do they say?
Really?
75% of relationships start online now.
I gotta get online.
You ain't even got to go to eHarmony. People just in the DMs now. I ain't
got nobody in my DM. I know Brandy does.
I don't lie.
Dry.
I don't believe you. Stop lying.
I ain't got nobody in my
your
DM.
Bible right now and put your hands on it. You solemnly swear.
I'm going to tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because it's men who think that your DMs are hot, so they don't slide in your DM.
Right.
So it's dry.
That's a good, that's
no,
true.
Somebody else had already hit her up, so I'm not going to talk to her.
That's
I hear
true.
that all the time. So that's why it's dry, because they think it's full when it's dry.
Online is hard too. Oh, Sarah said online is hard. Dating is a hard, I don't know. There's also Facebook dating. Have y'all heard about Facebook online dating?
I did hear something about they have an app or something.
I be wanting to push that little heart because my feelings be getting hurt. I'm like,
y'all gotta go back to poking folks on Facebook. This poke
that part. That part.
Not the Facebook poke.
Need promotion.
Maybe y'all need to go to MySpace. Just go all the way back. Black Planet.
Black Planet.
I prefer in real life. I've never done online dating. I've never did a profile. Not recently, but I remember Black Planet.
Oh, I love Ruby.
Dating gives people the courage.
If people are saying they like real life, where are you meeting people in real life? Do we need to be outside? Is that what she's trying to tell us? We should be outside.
You trying to say we supposed to be for the streets?
For the streets, baby. Dating isn't hard. People are hard-headed. I agree. But
I'm like Ruby. I do like it. Hence why I try to do stuff like Houston Cigar Week and taking up golfing and things like that. Okay. Hadn't quite worked, but I'm like, somebody said HEB.
I thought you were going somewhere with it, Brandy. Like, it's been successful. Are they intimidated by you, Brandy?
All them brothers on the golf course. Maybe it ain't brothers on the golf course.
I'm done.
Is that what it is?
It might
But
not
you
be
know
brothers
what?
on the golf
So,
course.
okay. So
Tiger
this
Hoods.
is my theory about meeting people in gyms and grocery stores. I think a lot of Black women, we have aligned ourselves to be in such great positions. And this is my deal, right? Go to the grocery store. I live in a great neighborhood, but do you know what great neighborhood means? Them little wiggly roly carts, they got the little kids in it that's driving a little car. Dad spots and dad belly coming in because he married. I'm in that area. I am not where, and maybe that's it. Maybe I
What
need
you
to
got
move,
against the
like
dad
more
bod?
in. Yeah, maybe I need to move into downtown Houston where, you know, I can go by the gym where everybody got their shirts off, because that is not what I'm seeing at my grocery store. I did the statistics here, y'all. 70% married in the area that I live in.
Oh,
Who am I finding at the grocery store? Somebody else's husband. Get somebody else to do
And
it.
Simone, you said it was a single city.
Actually, it is.
It
I
is.
was looking at,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what? I was looking at the statistics. I was going to tell you guys that it is the state of Texas has the largest number of single race Black people, followed by Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I told y'all. See, I'm like,
Wow.
they said that it's not the city to get married. So you talking about marriage mindset? Maybe we need to go to Brandy's area, because they're single, they're independent, they're in charge, they're doing their thing. So they're thinking, why do I need to settle down? I'm thriving. I'm enjoying my life. Why it's good out here.
I don't know, but yeah.
So maybe,
Where they
Brandy,
at?
you got to start traveling more. Go to, Detroit. I don't know. I don't know if a lot of options are in Detroit. I don't know.
I
But
don't know
Detroit
either.
isn't up there in regards to cities to get married in either.
Oh, gosh.
We've kind of been
Gotta leave the country.
Kind of been bad too.
Is that what it is? We got to become Black expats and just kind of go overseas. But then everybody that I meet, I'm from Jamaica. I'm from Jamaica.
You know,
I'm Jamaican. So y'all here? What's up with that?
I know.
so don't come
Well,
for
listen,
don't come for the
right.
Jamaican now. You don't want to do that. You don't want these problems.
No, I'm just saying. No, don't come
Oh
for
my
Jamaica.
goodness.
Mm-mm.
You don't want these problems. Come on, Simone, don't let her get away with that.
Right. And Tony's Jamaican too. Come on, Tony. We need backup support. Come true.
See, I really be outnumbered, but no, I don't know what it is. I mean, like I said, maybe a lot of people are finding that single life is just fun, but I think it's because you Black men listen to Kevin Samuels and he told y'all just don't have to settle down, and y'all just got too many options, and get you a 25-year-old who's gonna be, what is it? Fit, fine, friendly, feminine, and agreeable.
What is it?
Or whatever. Look, I don't listen to all of the rhetoric, okay? I get it. And I'm like,
Maybe you listening to them more than we listening to them.
Right.
because I'm trying to figure y'all out. I'm trying to figure y'all out, man. Because apparently
You can't paintbrush us with one person.
Tony's like, who's Kevin Samuels? I could.
Right.
come on now. Mm-hmm.
You know who Kevin is. Stop playing. Brandy, you make too much money to submit. Oh gosh.
Wow.
Woo.
You gonna put me on blast like that? Oh my gosh.
Somebody
Brandy,
got receipts.
Woo. Y'all.
Listen, let me tell y'all. All I know is submission. I went from my mom to being married to being in the military. Let me tell you, for over 21 years, that is all I knew. I need somebody to come in and be like, do this, do that. That is ingrained in me, okay?
I keep hearing a lot of that.
You know, I'm out here living. Listen, I'm all over the place. I need somebody to be like, listen, I am almost 50 years old. I am 46. My mom will call me and be like, Brandy, why did you post that on Instagram? I'm like, what had happened was, so no, listen, I want to submit. That is all I know. Leadership, provision, protection. That's all I need. So yeah, maybe I got a little bit of coin. So that's something that you ain't even got to worry about. You ain't got to worry about the coin. Just lead me, guide me, protect me.
You gonna
Save me.
give him an allowance too?
Listen, I'm already giving one an allowance. That part we not gonna do, okay?
That part.
That's a
Is
whole
that what?
other conversation.
Right? Is
'Cause I
that
gotta talk to
what
my
it's got to
sisters.
come to in these day
Look,
and
that's that
times?
whole other conversation. Talking to my sisters who be talking about being in a bag. You better be careful. That X might be in your bag too.
Well,
So let me just say that.
Oh Lord,
well.
give
Yeah.
her the business. Tony, stop it.
But nah, I think a lot of women want that. At the end of the day, we really do want to take that cape off.
We
We do.
do.
I don't
And
want it. You can have it. You can have it. I don't want it.
and I want to say as well, you know, there's always going to be work that needs to be done within us. No one is going to be completely healed. One of the things that I've learned is no one's coming perfect. So if you're looking for perfection, baby, it's out the door, because no one's coming perfect. Everyone is going to, what I've learned about life, and I learned about journey and being the creative dear future husband, wife, what I've learned is wherever you fall short, your partner is going to be stronger. And wherever your partner is weak, you're strong in that area. So vice versa. So if you are not the greatest communicator, he's a better communicator, but it's for him to say, okay, babe, you're terrible, but this is what you do when you, like, there has to be that patience and that understanding as well for him to be understanding to, does her good outweigh her bad? And no, I don't like this, and no, I don't like that. But I would rather someone with a good heart and someone who's teachable than someone who is not, and they check all these different boxes, but they're set in their ways. They want it this way. That doesn't work, because then that means this is who I am and I'm not willing to change. I will take a good-hearted man any day, because I know that heart is going to be willing to say, okay, babe, let's get it right together. And I did a video on that recently, because there has to be some let's grow together. There has to be, we come together, but there has to be that I really like you. And maybe men are not allowing themselves to really like anyone because of the simple fact that they got options. So if you don't do what 3 things, the next girl's going, don't text, she's going to do all the things that is more compatible to what he would ideally like. So there's no need to be patient with you, because the next girl is going to do whatever is more.
Won't do, another one will. Is that what we're trying to say?
Pretty much.
There you go.
Pretty much.
Oh, he just sit back laughing because he know it's true.
I mean, it's the same case for you all. What a man won't do, another man will.
When we locked in, we really, like, women will really, you know, be more patient. Like, okay, babe, we forever try to work with these fixer-uppers, build a babe. We doing the most.
Yeah, I think it's a little different, because, you know, y'all hold that key to the ring. I mean,
right.
You know, so I mean, at the end of the day,
sometimes after you get the ring, it switches up.
Does it?
Oh, it got a little quiet there. it got a little quiet there.
What you're not gonna do is try to call us out, Dr. Eddie.
Sometimes it's a bait and switch thing.
Saying, I don't think
somebody did say. Let me ask you this really quick, Dr. Eddie.
My
guy Brandon said, "What makes us think that men want the cape? Do you, or do y'all want that soft life too?"
Oh,
yeah, we're gonna be talking about the soft life too.
Wow, that's interesting. I've never heard a man and soft life in the same sentence. I don't.
You haven't been on Clubhouse in a while, then.
Yeah, I haven't been. That's interesting.
Soft life is a thing.
Yeah, that's the new term now.
I think, it is a thing, but I think that's for women though, because I think us as men, we know, and we've been reared, and I think from a deleterious place to not cry, to not open up, to not show any place of vulnerability at all, which to a certain degree becomes a weakness for us. We know that when we go into the world, we're going to get hit like a boxer, but we don't want to get hit in the home. We don't want to get hit on the phone, you know? So I think we are used to understanding that we have to bear the brunt of the burden of, yes, providing, of protecting, of being the priest of the home. We understand that we have to wear that cape in that aspect, but we do want a soft space in place. We do want a place to where we feel like we can take off the cape without being judged, without being seen as weak. We're still being seen as the king and the champion and not the chump,
Mm.
and not being judged for that. So I don't think we mind wearing the
Speak
cape.
to the
It's
king.
just that, yeah, speak to the king in a man. Yeah.
That's right. I like that. I really like
Yeah.
that. Which is why we have our panel discussion on June 10th called When Kings Speak.
Yeah. Yeah. There it is.
I'm definitely looking forward to this. I believe it or not, guys, this is actually the first time me and Dr. Eddie have been in space to get virtual space together, but I'm definitely looking forward to co-hosting with you. I think it's going to be great. I hope you guys go ahead and get tickets and come out, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be phenomenal.
I
Oh,
absolutely
it's going to be all that.
Yeah, definitely. Whew, well, yes. Dr. Eddie, how much time you got left? We definitely want to hear about these books you got. And will you be doing a nice little book signing at the conference?
Well, I could not say no. I got to do that in Houston. Houston is y'all rain. It's a lot of rain in Houston, but it is one of my favorite cities. Y'all got like 3 downtowns. So
3 downtown.
y'all got like 3 downtowns.
We really do.
No, I got to bring the books. I got to bring the latest and greatest. This is my 15th
So tell us
one that's
about
coming out
this
June
book,
19th.
Dr. Eddie.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
About
Tell us
it.
about the latest and greatest.
Yeah, who can find a faithful man? Really, the genesis of this one came out of a video that went viral. It's got like 1.1 million views right now on Instagram. And I was just having a conversation with some men at a men's conference about vulnerability, masculinity, and what we pride from women and their femininity. And I broached that question of the who can find the virtuous woman, who can find a faithful man, as I was alluding to earlier tonight. And it just went wildfire. I was getting a lot of DMs, but here's the thing. Beyond all the DMs, some of the most touching ones were from men from all over the country and even globally. Like, wow, this is what I've been dealing with, about faithfulness, about my masculinity, about vulnerability, about what it means to be faithful in a relationship when I never saw it for myself, from my pops or from my father. So I wanted to write from it, from a whole aspect of the fear, the failure, the father wounds, the frustrations of what we experience as men. I wanted to talk about the vulnerability, but also the accountability, how to lead, love, and live faithfully, because a lot of these times we're not taught these things. And so as a society, here's what we do: we prepare women for unprepared men.
Mm.
Yeah, we
My
have
God.
all these conferences for women. That's what I love about this: dear future husband and wife. Generally, there's a lot of dear future wife. Husband ain't nowhere near there. He's not invited into the conversation. That's what's so phenomenal about this, that you have to come to it, right? Because we're not just broaching it from a one-sided, skewed angle of just the women, but we're bringing the men into the conversation. And I think we have to have healthy dialogue if we're going to get along.
Absolutely.
You know, we got to talk about the fears, the failures, the frustrations of what it is that ticks us off, but also that brings us together to where we experience love. And,
absolutely.
You know, that whole aspect, the preparing women for unprepared men. We have not had conferences on how to be a great husband. We have not necessarily had a whole bunch of books about what it takes to be a great husband. Yeah, what it takes to be a strong man, what it takes to build muscle, what it takes to get a whole bunch of women, but not.
But can I ask you something, Dr. Eddie?
Yeah.
If there was a conference for are the men showing up? Because can I be honest with you? You look at a live like this, or you look at most conversation, and it's women always tapping in, because men often. Ruby must be your on your team, because I tell you, Ruby's whose team is Ruby on?
Ruby is from me and Ruby go way back. She's season 1 Clubhouse, so she knows, and she
I thought Ruby was on Dr. Eddie's team. Boy, I tell you.
Tapped in, let me tell you.
Oh my God, Rudy, you're the bomb.com girl. Come on now.
She is.
Thank you for being here. But I want to say to Dr. Eddie, the problem is not that these conversations are not being had. The people who need to hear the conversations are not showing up to hear the conversation. And that's the problem, because those who need the help ain't showing up to get the help. Oftentimes you see a conference, you see an event, women, because we want to hear and we want to learn. I promise y'all, when I was told that I was not ready, I went into okay, what do I need to be ready? Not for the person, but so that I'm not attracting or I'm not becoming a repellent. I am actually, warm and approachable, because that meant something to me. So it meant shifting. And also I want to be authentic to my brand. So a lot of times when women get advice, or we hear, or we know of something, we're going to jump on it. But the men ain't showing up unless it's bears and wings, or, what I mean? Something that really pulls them in.
Because this is how it has been. A lot of times you can't get men to talk unless it's about money, sports, and women.
Yes.
And we have socialized men to not verbalize, but internalize.
Yes.
We have taught that you don't ask for help. I don't even care if you're driving on the road, if you lost in the sauce, and you lost not just on the road, but you lost on the road of life.
Right.
And if you ask for help, now you're seen as weak. And you ought to always appear strong, especially in front of women, right? Much less you got to be strong in front of your own brothers.
Right.
So it is kind of like, where can a man go to unravel himself without having the appearance that he is less than a man?
Yeah.
And his masculinity and his identity are not in juxtaposition with one another.
Yeah.
So, and I think we're seeing a whole bunch of podcasts and folks saying all type of crazy stuff. But here's the thing: men are beginning to talk a little bit more, and you're kind of peeling beyond the veneer of what it is that we've held so close to the chest and to the vest.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think as we have more conversations, I think Dear Future Husband and Wife is a forerunner to this. Yeah. Preeminent aspect to where we can now have this type of healthy dialogue, talk about healthy boundaries, be committed to the commitment. I think we're going to see greater relationships and longevity, to where people are not just getting married for a wedding, but they're getting married for the marathon marriage, and understand it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Oh, for sure. Ooh, child. Yeah. She said she doesn't.
Last question for you. Yeah, do you see it? It says somebody gave you some pushback. Cigars and Sneaks said, I don't buy that. Men are traditionally congratulated for being players. They don't want help. She said he doesn't want help for that. So if you're being congratulated for having a lot of women, then why get the help? Or why change it? Because it seems to be working.
Okay, I see what
But that's what I think she's saying. But I think to Dr. Eddie, to your point, you're saying that
I think
you're not talking about those men. You're talking about the men who really are marriage minded and want to be husbands.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there will always be both of those.
Yeah.
There will be marriage minded. There will be for the streets. There will be all kinds of men out there, ladies. And I want ladies to stop thinking about the negative. Like, we know the negative ones are out there, but when it's almost like what I notice about attraction, and I don't do the whole law of attraction, but I'll never forget this. I was younger and I wanted the Acura TSX. And because I had placed that in my mind, I wasn't seeing that car as much. But the minute that I wanted that car, it became something that I kept seeing everywhere that I went, because it was like, oh. So we also have to change our mindset. We got to change our approach. I dislike that whole statement, there's pee in the pool. If there's pee in the pool, then get out the pool. Because I'm like, they've been peeing in the pool. Every time you take the kids to the pool, they pee in the pool. Nobody gets out of the pool to go to the bathroom. So we've been peeing in the pool. Okay, let's get out the pool. All right, let's go to the beach. Let's go where there's more options. Stop saying there's peeing in the pool. Get out the pool.
What'd you say? Get out the pool and go to the ocean?
Yes. I'm tired of this whole pee in the pool. Let's get out the pool. How about that? Because we've been peeing in the pool. I'm like, all the kids have been peeing in the pool. Let's change the whole narrative, though. And let's change there ain't no good man. There ain't no, well, sis, I can't tell you that you're going to find a good one if you keep saying there ain't no good ones. You attract what you speak. So let's change our narrative.
That's the thing. Maybe, and that's where I have to reevaluate. And I think that's where I think it's going to be really good for us to have these conversations. Do you widen your pool? Do you widen your net? You know what I mean? Do you say, okay, if I know that I, typically will say, I don't like long distance dating. Is that something where I am really putting myself in a box to say, okay, if I don't widen my net, I'm going to continue to be in that small pool? when it could be somebody who, you know, could be in London. And I'm throwing it out to one of my girlfriends I see on the stage, who in the chat, you know, somebody that she found this all the way in London. And this guy is like literally very purposeful and intentional and wanting to see her and things like that. But, you know I'm busy. I like spontaneity. And I say, okay, is that something that I'm willing to compromise on? You know, and that may be keeping a lot of us single. You know, we put these parameters that are like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, when meanwhile it could be somebody just, you know, in the next state over, but because I want to be in Houston, you know, I've limited myself. So
Is he intentional about U.S. citizenship?
Yeah, he trying to get nobody no green card now.
He said, I see the green flags, but he really wants a green card.
I know that's right. Exactly.
No, I'm joking. No, it's a lot of, I think, you know, you have to align to a certain degree preference and purpose, and maybe one outweighs more. You know, does everybody always marry who their preference is?
Ooh.
Or do they marry their purpose at the end of the day?
Ooh.
Now,
Listen, there's a perfect will
yeah.
and there's a permissive will.
Right.
So which one are you gonna marry? Your perfect will or your permissive will? Listen, I want to go
But you
where
do want a little preference in there too now.
just a little bit,
You
just a little
Lord,
bit.
bless me with a little preference, please.
Oh my gosh, I seen something on TikTok. Oh my gosh, I wish I could share this TikTok. He was like, "Yes, God." You know, and the angel was like, "Yep." So he likes Lily, he likes Brandy. He's like, nope, Lily's gonna be problematic. He's gonna idolize Brandy. He's like, I'm gonna give him Faith. The angel was like, he ain't gonna like Faith. So then the angel went back and told the guy who was praying, like, God, send me my wife, reveal who my wife is. He's like, Faith is your wife. He's like, Faith? No, Faith ain't it. It was so, I downloaded it. I'm trying to figure out how to interwoven it with my content, but it was like, I'm like, yep, that's how we be. Like, no, I just, God, I know I want your will, but that person, oh my gosh, it's so funny. I just came across his content because it's so true. It's like, you know, especially for believers, like I want what God wants for me, and God's like, that's your wife. Oh, or that's your husband. He's only 5'7".
Said, Lord, give me Saul and not Zacchaeus.
Right.
Leah.
Right.
Right. I mean, but you know what? That's the thing. But do you? So here's my pushback. Do you really think that God would do that to us? For what you're praying for, do you really think that He will send you what is not?
So that's
for you, or what you would want?
I got. Let me say this.
No,
I'm gonna let you go ahead first. Ladies first. Let me go ahead.
Here's why, Brandy. What I learned about God is because we're looking at the now. I promise you, if you look at my list is like 2 pages of what I wanted of my husband. I did not see dear future husband, wife being a brand. I didn't see me being single at 40 and my son is going to university. I didn't see that. My husband that I cultivated on those 2-3 pages, I don't think he would have been okay with what I'm doing now. And
really?
Because I was looking at, he got to be, the list don't matter. We ain't going, I already put myself out there. I'm not going to tell y'all what's on the list. But what I'm going to say is who I'm becoming, who I am now. I wasn't her when I made that list. And I think what I've learned about God is He doesn't send you what you want. He sends you what you need. So who I'm going to become when this brand 5 years from now, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't think that dear future husband, wife would be in Dubai. My husband has the ability to steward who I'm becoming, where the list can't tell you or dictate who you're becoming, because we can only see now. We don't know. God is going to blow our minds and something's going to take off, and it's going to take you in places that you never imagined. That's my answer. Let's see what Dr. Eddie says.
Oh, this is good. This is good. I need to take a pen out and start writing some notes.
Right.
I think the list
is there another
time,
book brewing?
Right.
What we doing?
I'm gonna call it dear future husband
Right.
and wife. No, I'm just joking.
Right. I'm working
Um,
on a few. Just
there
saying.
you go. Do your thing.
Right.
I think to a certain degree, sometimes a list can become a liability. What we
Mm-hmm.
crave can be a crutch. And here's
Ooh.
why. Um, Scripture says, His ways are not your ways, His thoughts are not your thoughts. You think about another scripture, and we oftentimes really just mangle it. We tear it up. We make it so narcissistic to where God will give you the desires of your heart. And here's the thing about that. God doesn't just give you what you want. He gives you what to want. Because the Bible is not, God is not a genie and you don't rub the Bible 3 times and you get 3 wishes. Right? So, yeah, right. Sorry, Brandy.
I'm done with Brandy.
Think about the fine line between, yes, what you want, but also what is best suitable for you. You know, everybody who's attracted to you is not suitable for you. And a lot of times we confuse compatibility with a suitability because we go specifically off biology. They look good to me, but are they really good for me? And so I think when we really come from the place of, yes, I do have my preference, because we looking on the outward appearance. Women are as visual as men are too.
Yes.
We ain't in the boat rowing by ourselves.
Right.
When we get to that place to say, yes, I have preference, but I am widening my perspective. I am not limiting myself.
Right.
To allow God to have the flexibility in my life to say, all right, I'm walking in my purpose. I expect a purpose partner, not a preference partner, but God also bless you with your preference as well in that. But you also, I think you have to be open beyond just your own attractive level, because sometimes what we're attracted to is the reason why we're single.
Woo! My God.
Yeah.
Dr. Eddie, you know what? I think my phone is messing
Yeah,
up.
that was messing up. Yeah, now it's messing up.
Right.
Wow.
That's
what you
good.
like becomes a liability.
Wow.
You hear that, Brandy? You better be taking notes.
Be committed to you.
Hey,
Yeah.
Go back and watch it after this.
Right.
My God.
Yes.
That
was
hard.
definitely some gems. Yes, it was.
That hit.
Oh my God. I am so excited about this Houston conference. Dr. Mel just came in the room, who's going to be in Atlanta. I got a feeling that I'm going to be following behind Dr. Eddie and you in Atlanta. I'll be like, can I come to Atlanta?
Listen, you should be in Detroit. Well, let's talk about Dr. Eddie's talking about the identity conference. You saw Dr. Eddie's conference? Baby, I said, okay, Dr. Eddie, you didn't got to show up like that with your 5-star state of. I said, my God. I said, when I grow up, I want to be like you, sir. I'm just saying.
Can I be like you when I grow up? Yes, sir.
I'm just trying to write a book. I can't even finish this book. I'm trying to finish up in the journals and different things. And here you are, 16 books and counting. By the end of the year, it's going to be 20. And I said, my God.
That. I guess 2, Brandy gonna write 2, Simone, you gonna write 2. So that's 4. I'm there.
I'm done.
More. I don't know if y'all ready for my book. Mine gonna be like
It's gonna be too militant right there for me. Relational militancy.
So somebody wants to know, how old are you, Dr. Eddie?
You see it popping up no more. Well, I'll give you a straight answer. I'm older than Jaden Smith, younger than Will Smith. I'm older than Michael B. Jordan, younger than Michael Jordan. So there's your answer.
Not a straight.
That's such a wide. Oh, look.
You got. Remember, I said you got a wide.
I forgot I was about to talk to a pastor girl. I almost said something. I was be like, oh, so you're at an age where you can date the dad or the son? Is that what we at? That's my age group. I'm in that age bracket. I can date the dad or the son.
Lori Harvey.
Huh?
Lori Harvey.
Not Lori.
Oh my gosh. The son or the dad, huh, Brandy? Like, you just in the middle.
Yeah.
I think
you can be a cougar.
I think she likes that.
Dr. Mel said she guessed you are 42.
No, but nice try.
Dr. Mel, I'll try to get it out of him at the conference. How about that?
Houston, Dr. Mel, I'll tell you. Come to Houston, you get the answer.
I think
Love it.
that Dr. Eddie's in his 30s because of the simple fact that he's got that baby face. There's still a youthfulness to him. He ain't hit 40. He ain't in his 40s like us. I don't think so. Mm-mm.
But he got the education part, and see that, and going to school, and the mentorship, and the kids, and
So he's 40.
I put him at 38. I give him 38.
Well, you know, black don't crack, brown won't let you down, beige don't age, tan got a
I'm
plan,
done.
and lighter do you right.
Oh, wow.
So, you know.
Wow. You know what would be funny if he's like, oh, I'm only 35. We'd be like,
Right? You know what I said
I'm
we
only
do
25,
in
you
Houston?
gonna
I will
uninvite
actually
me off
do
the
it.
panel.
Y'all know
we know you ain't no
what?
25.
I'm gonna actually do this. You come to Houston, we're gonna have guest Dr. Eddie's age, and I am going to do a gift basket and give it to whoever gets it right. How about that? I'm gonna do a amazing swag bag.
All right.
Cameras off. No, cameras off. No cameras. I don't want no information leaking.
So you have to be in person to know. Have to be in person to find out how old he is.
Wait, no.
We're gonna have to do a BC
His
before
birthday.
cell phone.
His birthday was recently.
That's true. That's true.
His birthday was
That's true.
recently. Nobody put his age though in the comment. I was gonna go back and Nancy drew it, but I don't think no one put his age. You know how people be like, "Happy 40th."
Right.
Let's go
Eddie,
look.
don't make me go stealth in my military mode. Don't make me do it.
And we know you could probably put my info in.
Don't let me go looking through Facebook and your high school friends
Right.
and when you graduated. Like,
Actually,
make it easy for a sister, because I mean, that's what I gotta do. I mean, I do it anyway when I'm vetting, so why not? Like,
Yeah, right.
So
well,
that's,
you're gonna be spinning your wheels if you try to research me. You're gonna be spinning your wheels for real.
oh,
really?
You're gonna be spinning
don't
your
give.
wheels.
Listen, don't put her up to the test now. Don't put her up to.
Said, don't push me because I'm close to that.
Right. Dr. Mel said we
But
should.
see, the fact that he knows that song, I don't know. See,
I'm a hip hop. Here you go.
He's from Detroit, though. He's from Detroit.
Oh yeah, he's from Detroit. Okay.
All right. So
my pastor's from Detroit. Bishop William
Dr.
Murphy.
Ed, the last question.
Yeah.
Please let them know. Are you married? He's single.
Wait, before we go there, Dr. Mel was like, we should auction Dr. Eddie off for a day.
Oh wow, no.
For the love of Dr. Eddie.
I like the name of that show.
I
like the name of that. That could be a good show. That could be a good show.
What was it?
That could be a good show.
What was it, Brandy?
For the love of Dr. Eddie.
Oh, that should be his next book. He just got these books coming out left, right, and center. So we just thought maybe,
Right. And I'll do the foreword with all his one-liners I picked up tonight. All of his great one-liners. It'll be like,
I agree.
I think I might have dropped about 100 pages worth. So I think we
we got something to work with.
We got something to work with.
William Murphy is from I don't know where I just know he's from Detroit because he talks about Detroit all the time.
Oh yeah, the Murphy family, they're jewels of our city for sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. The Dream Center Church of Atlanta.
Dr. Mel said if somebody guesses his age, they get a date with you, Dr. Eddie.
That might not be
don't be putting me out there. Don't be putting me out there.
Well, y'all got us pimp. Dr. Mel, why you got to try to pimp out Dr. Eddie? Come on now.
Number 17 for the love of number 17, Ruby. I agree.
I can't see any of the comments. I don't know
really?
Why I can't see any of them.
We thought you could see them.
Nah.
Yeah, this is turn it into for the love of Dr. Eddie.
For the love
of
Dr. Eddie.
Let's shift the attention off me to y'all.
Oh, gosh. $50 raffle ticket. I'm done with
50. That's all I'm worth?
Oh my gosh.
I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
Shut the doors on them if they try to come into the event.
I'm done. Y'all, I'm done. $50.
That is funny.
That is funny. Swipe down on your screen should let you see. Oh, she said swipe down.
If they giving $50, they can get 2 books though.
Oh,
They can get 2 books.
There you go.
Yeah, there you
okay.
All right.
Okay. Can I get 1 million? Oh, she said,
and then he's gonna be there and sign a book for you and
right.
And then I'll be there. I'll take a picture for you.
Look at her.
Picture extra, Dr. Eddie.
Yeah. Pictures are extra, especially for the person that said $50. They get charged. Right. They the only one getting charged.
That part. This has been fun.
This has been. Do you want to take us out as far as talking about Houston, and then have Dr. Eddie bless us out?
Absolutely. So listen, what y'all just heard on tonight, which has been an amazing conversation, is our moderators for 2 books in the entry to the auction. Dr. Mel's still talking about this date. I'm done. They're really trying to auction you off. I'm so sorry you can't
refuse to be auctioned. Our people will auction.
I'm done. 10 million going once. Now Ruby put you at 10 million going once.
Ruby got you at 10. Yes.
I'm saying,
Ruby, we need you back in Houston, love.
Right. I'm just saying. But tickets, the link below is where you can grab your ticket for Houston. We're under 3 weeks to go, so y'all definitely, this is a conversation that you're going to be hearing for the journey to I Do. These 2 phenomenal moderators are going to just be talking about things that we endure, things that we have to go through, things that we have to embark upon to the journey to I Do. So you guys definitely want to come out. You don't want to miss this conversation. It's going to be dope. Dr. Eddie's got his event coming up in August. Brandy's got something coming up this weekend.
Houston Cigar Week. If you're in Houston, that's it. Got a pop-up coming, fashion show that I'll be hosting. Just a lot of great little things in the city. Getting out there and just having fun. So
if you're not following,
I have somebody to wake up and make grits for, I'll be doing that.
Sugar or salt?
Did you just ask a Tennessee girl? Of course, sugar on my grits. Yes, Lord.
I'm done. So y'all make sure you guys are following these 2 phenomenal moderators who's gonna be in Houston. Well, Brandy's in Houston, but forget it, Brandy. I'm done with Tony. I thought he left. Oh my gosh, Tony is a trip. Tony's gonna be a part of the men's panel discussion when King speaks, so that's gonna be really dope. He's a trip, y'all. Sarah is gonna be a part of the panel as well with Dr. Eddie and Brandy. I thought you left, Sarah, so my bad. With pepper, she said with pepper, salt with pepper.
Wow.
I don't like grits. My Caribbean self don't like grits. Sorry. It's not
oatmeal for me. I do oatmeal.
I'll do cornmeal porridge. Thank you.
Oh.
Right.
No. Yeah. Bring some of that for me to the
Now
to
we
the,
talking.
To the
Now we talking.
Man alive. You just Jamaica land.
Right. Jamaica.
I just had a flashback. I got it.
Listen, let me tell you, I just found out what was it called? Roti pie?
Oh my God. We're not gonna go in roti.
Okay.
Roti skins.
Yes, you gotta start teaching me. See, I said roti pie. Girl, listen. Ackee
and saltfish. Yes, Tony. Ackee and saltfish. You know what? We got something lined up for 2024 for Jamaica, but we ain't gonna talk about it yet because we talk about things too early. The oppositions be real. We ain't talking about it. But Jamaica.
Let them know when it's done.
Right. Jamaica is definitely a city that needs to have conversation about relationships for sure. Yeah, that's definitely an island. The island itself, because we didn't grow up seeing relationships, and it's almost taboo. Marriage is not something that is common. So, we need to kind of raise up the next generation. Jamaica in the house. What? Big up yourself.
Yeah.
We got to be able to raise our next generation and talk about, like my son, I tell him about being a husband. I don't say boyfriend. I say, when you're a husband, the way you treat your mom is going to really be an example of how you treat your wife. So that's really important. So I really want to, I'm done with Tony. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'm done.
Hallelujah to the cop.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, introducing your moderators for the Journey to I Do, Dr. Eddie Connor and Miss Brandy Renee. Woo! You know, on Clubhouse, they got the... Dr.
Yeah.
Eddie don't know about no Clubhouse. You got to get on Clubhouse, Dr.
Yeah.
Eddie. I'm telling you.
Yeah. They ain't, yeah, I got to get back in the club.
It's a whole lot. It's you might be like, it's ghetto out here.
Wow.
There's a whole lot going on Clubhouse, but we gonna leave that alone. So y'all, thank you for your time. Thank you guys so very much. This was amazing. I needed this on today. So I needed the laughter. I needed this. It was really good. Sounds like an interesting conference. Thank you for sharing, Brad. Oh, cigars and steaks. Yes.
Get your tickets, guys. You do not want to miss this. If y'all think this was good, just imagine how it's going to be in person.
Listen,
right.
And I'm watching the Celtics Miami Heat game, but this is not a game. Houston is going to be nothing. We bringing the Heat to Houston. It's going to be absolutely incredible. You need to make sure that you tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your frat brothers, tell your sorority sisters, bring your bae, your boo, bring all your friends too. You want to be at the Dear Future Husband Wife conference. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Houston, we do not have a problem. We have solutions.
Yes.
Get ready for liftoff.
All right.
Yes.
Let me find out Dr. Eddie's secretly a rapper.
Right? Spit bars.
Right,
Okay.
right. Driving bars. Okay. So Dr. Eddie, what are, something you want to share to end us all out tonight?
Yeah, I think we just have to get to a place of healing, of truth, of transparency, of really taking off the mask to heal from our past. And
Ooh.
I think that is...
Wait, say that again. Let me write it down.
Just
Wait.
taking off the mask to heal from our past. And I think it's all through the lens of what lens are you looking through? If you keep looking through a lens of hurt, that's all you're going to see. That's all you're going to attract. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. And so I think this is a great conversation tonight, but also the conversation will lead to the conference about fine-tuning our emotional intelligence, creating healthy boundaries, walking in a place of truth and transparency, forgiving ourselves, forgiving other people who have hurt us in past relationships, and not going in a cyclical cesspool and cycle of negativity,
right.
But actually being able to make forward progress to define who it is that we are, refine ourselves, to love ourselves, know our worth and our value, and then also now walk in that place in that prism of purpose, and now we attract the healed version of ourselves, rather than the hurt version. And I think this is the conference that's going to do that. So if you're really serious about it, join us there. Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, this was amazing. Watch this replay and take some notes. I love that last one, taking off the mask so we can heal from our past, especially that we spent so much time in COVID. So a lot of us will wear masks. Yeah. So, we still well, I don't want to say anything negative because I think I'm going to say this lastly. I think the word healing, because even for me, putting it and be more transparent out there with my social media, like I have over the last week, it's like people you don't want to come across as being broken. Right. So we don't embrace that we're unhealed. And that just hit me. You don't want to come across as being broken. So you're like, no, I'm good. But now I'm really realizing that no, transparency through your healing is amazing because of the fact that you're dealing with the stuff that you can get better results, because healed people will attract healed people. Hurt people will attract hurt people. And so often we think that we're healed and we're whole and we're repellents, not realizing that we're carrying things. So we're not looking for perfection. However, it's a continuous journey. Healing is a journey and a continuous work. But I believe that it starts off with saying, hey, there are some areas that still need some work within me. But if you can be patient with me enough, I will get there. There's not a you've arrived, because at 45 I might discover something I went through at 10 that never showed up before, but when we got together you did something that triggered something. And that's what people need to understand. When you're by yourself, you're working on things by yourself. When you're in a relationship and your husband starts doing certain things or your wife starts doing certain things, it's now causing, because now two becomes one, it causes things that would have never been caused before because you're by yourself. So I think people need to be graceful and understanding to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so very much. Dr. Eddie, thank you for your time. I know you are super busy, and the fact that you just gave us your time, I pray that what you gave out returns back to you tenfold, okay?
I appreciate
Yes.
that. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
guys. And
Appreciate
Simone,
you,
you know I
Queen.
love you, girl, even though I know we probably finna get on the phone and kiki as soon as we hang up.
Kiki
So,
and ha.
thank you all for showing up and coming. It was a great conversation. I'm
It
glad
was.
you guys stayed and hung in there because this is really good
Sabrina
and
said,
really needed.
thank you. I really needed this conversation. Oh, that means a lot to
Aw.
us. Thank you. All right. Good night, guys. Enjoy the replays that will be up on Dear Future Husband and Wife. Good night.
Bye. Good night,
Good night.
everyone.